There has been a notable legal development that many people are calling a rare moment of relief for Sean Diddy Combs, and it comes from a federal judge's decision to dismiss a civil lawsuit that had gained widespread attention due to the seriousness of its claims and the number of well-known names involved. Earlier this week, a federal court formally dismissed a lawsuit that included allegations made by Ashley Parham against several individuals, including comedian Drewski, NFL player Odell Beckham Jr., and Sean Combs himself. The accusations described extremely disturbing events, alleging that Parham was assaulted at a private residence and that threats were made against her, along with claims of intimidation and abuse involving other individuals who were allegedly present. When the lawsuit first became public, it sent shockwaves through social media and news platforms, prompting swift public denials from those named and fueling intense debate among the public. However, the case did not move forward because of procedural failures rather than any ruling on the truth or falsity of the allegations themselves. According to court documents, the judge had repeatedly warned the plaintiffs that the case would be dismissed under Rule 41B if they continued to miss mandatory deadlines. Despite being granted multiple extensions, Ashley Parham and the other plaintiffs failed to provide proof that any of the defendants had been properly served with the lawsuit, a basic and required step in civil litigation. Even after repeated opportunities to correct these issues, the deadlines were not met, leading the judge to dismiss the case entirely. This outcome has led to strong reactions, with some observers expressing frustration that such serious claims were not pursued with the diligence required by the court system. From one perspective, this dismissal reflects poorly on the plaintiffs, as failing to meet court deadlines after multiple extensions can undermine credibility and create the appearance that the case was not prepared or supported in a serious way. Critics argue that when accusations of this magnitude are made, it is critical for the legal process to be followed carefully, not only to protect the accused from unfounded claims, but also to preserve trust in the justice system for genuine victims who invest significant time, emotional energy, and financial resources in seeking accountability. There is concern that high-profile cases dismissed due to procedural neglect may discourage or overshadow those who are legitimately seeking justice through proper legal channels. At the same time, others urge caution before drawing conclusions, noting that a dismissal on procedural grounds does not equal a declaration of innocence or falsehood, but rather reflects a failure to comply with legal requirements. Still, public perception matters, and this dismissal has undeniably eased pressure on Diddy at a moment when he is facing numerous other legal battles. Given the volume of lawsuits surrounding him, even a single dismissal represents a meaningful reduction in legal strain and public scrutiny. For Diddy, who is already navigating a complex legal landscape, this ruling likely feels like a small but important victory, especially as he prepares for additional civil cases scheduled in the coming months. The broader conversation now centers on accountability, responsibility, and the importance of respecting the legal process when bringing forward claims that carry life-altering consequences for everyone involved. While many people are interpreting the dismissal of the Parham lawsuit as a sign that the claims may not have been credible, others are considering alternative explanations and questioning whether outside pressures could have influenced the outcome. Some commentators have speculated that fear, intimidation, or behind-the-scenes influence may have played a role in the plaintiff's failure to move the case forward, especially given Sean Combs' long-standing reputation as a powerful figure within the entertainment industry. However, it is also important to recognize that Diddy's influence is not unlimited, particularly given his current legal circumstances, and other individuals involved in high-profile lawsuits have successfully proceeded against powerful defendants despite similar concerns. For example, previous plaintiffs in unrelated cases were able to meet legal deadlines, cooperate with attorneys, and see their cases advance through the courts. This reality has led some observers to lean toward the conclusion that the lawsuit simply was not managed properly or lacked sufficient organization and follow-through. The fact that multiple deadline extensions were granted and still not met raises legitimate questions about preparedness and intent. Meanwhile, attention has also shifted toward Roc Nation, which is facing mounting legal challenges of its own. Reports indicate that the company is currently dealing with multiple active civil lawsuits, including 2 newly filed cases brought by models who allege breach of contract, misuse of their images, false endorsement, and false advertising related to a swimwear campaign associated with Megan Thee Stallion. These plaintiffs claim their likenesses were used in ways that exceeded the scope of their agreements, potentially exposing Roc Nation to further financial and reputational damage. In addition to the legal filings, court documents have revealed estimates of Roc Nation's annual revenue, figures that some have found surprisingly modest given the company's high-profile roster and global reach. While exact numbers vary, reported revenues in the range of tens of millions annually have led to questions about financial management, operational costs, and where profits are ultimately being allocated. Observers note that major artists such as Beyoncé generate enormous income through tours, endorsements, and merchandise, prompting speculation about how that revenue is distributed within the company structure. Some wonder whether ongoing legal fees, property investments, and business expansions are offsetting what would otherwise appear to be higher profits. As Roc Nation continues to defend itself in court, critics argue that the accumulation of lawsuits reflects deeper issues related to contracts, oversight, and internal accountability. Others caution that lawsuits are not uncommon for large corporations and that dismissals and settlements can occur just as frequently as courtroom losses. Indeed, some prior cases against Roc Nation have been dismissed, reinforcing the idea that litigation outcomes can swing in either direction. Still, the volume of legal disputes creates financial strain, consumes executive attention, and fuels public skepticism. With multiple cases scheduled for later in the year, including a high-profile civil matter involving company leadership, the coming months are expected to be particularly demanding. The broader entertainment industry is also bracing for a busy legal calendar, with several prominent figures facing court proceedings around the same time. This convergence of cases highlights a recurring theme in the industry: the growing willingness of individuals to challenge powerful entities through civil courts, and the equally persistent efforts by those entities to defend their reputations and financial interests. As these cases unfold, they will likely shape public perceptions of accountability, influence, and justice within entertainment and business circles. Beyond corporate litigation, attention has also returned to long-standing allegations involving Russell Simmons, reignited by public comments from Kimora Lee Simmons that have sparked renewed debate. Her remarks emphasized that her daughters are adults capable of making their own decisions, while also challenging Russell Simmons to address accusations directly rather than responding from abroad. These comments were widely interpreted as a sharp rebuke, especially given that Simmons has remained outside the United States in a country without extradition agreements, while multiple women have accused him of sexual misconduct. Critics argue that his absence undermines any claims of accountability, regardless of personal growth narratives or spiritual transformations he has publicly embraced. This pattern, they say, is not unique, as many high-profile men facing serious allegations later adopt public personas centered on religion, wellness, or self-discovery, often framing themselves as reformed individuals without first addressing past harm. Such transformations, while not inherently insincere, can appear calculated when they coincide with legal avoidance or settlements that stop short of public accountability. Comparisons have been drawn to other figures who, after facing allegations, publicly announce newfound faith or moral clarity, prompting skepticism about whether these changes represent genuine reflection or strategic rebranding. Critics stress that personal growth does not replace responsibility, and that acknowledging harm and engaging with the legal process remain essential steps regardless of spiritual beliefs. As legal proceedings continue to unfold across multiple high-profile cases, the public is left navigating a complex mix of legal facts, personal narratives, and media commentary. The dismissal of certain lawsuits, including those against Diddy and Roc Nation, serves as a reminder that not all claims advance to trial, and that procedural rules play a decisive role in determining outcomes. At the same time, ongoing and upcoming cases underscore that accountability efforts are far from over. For viewers and readers, particularly older audiences who have witnessed decades of cultural shifts, these developments raise important questions about power, influence, and justice in modern society. The legal system remains imperfect, capable of both protecting rights and falling short depending on circumstances and execution. As these stories continue to evolve, it is essential to separate legal rulings from emotional reactions, to recognize the difference between procedural dismissals and factual determinations, and to maintain a balanced perspective. Ultimately, the coming months will likely bring further revelations, rulings, and debates, reinforcing the idea that these cases are not isolated incidents, but part of a larger reckoning within entertainment, business and culture. Staying informed, asking thoughtful questions, and allowing the legal process to unfold remain crucial as these high-profile stories continue to develop. As we bring this discussion to a close, it's important to take a step back and remember that the legal system moves carefully and often slowly, especially in cases involving powerful people and serious claims. Not every lawsuit moves forward, and not every dismissal tells the full story, but each development does remind us why patience, facts, and due process still matter. For those of us who have seen many public figures rise and fall over the years, these moments are a reminder that truth has a way of surfacing in time, one way or another. What matters most is staying informed, thinking critically, and allowing the courts to do the work they are meant to do. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and as always, take care of yourselves and each other.